Research is a very important aspect of any learning institution, and it has always been a very important aspect of our Islamic tradition. My interest in mainstream academia has always been research, and Cambridge Muslim College is allowing me to develop that interest. My areas of focus have, for the past few years, been on theories of knowledge and theories of learning. Questions of how do we know what we know? What sources do we take as authoritative sources of knowledge? How do we reason these sources to produce certain meanings and certain interpretations of these sources? Muslim scholars throughout the history have written commentaries and glosses on the words of their colleagues or their shuyukh or their teachers, etc., to continue on the debates that have been taking place within their times. These glosses and commentaries have for so long represented a continuation of the tradition, a continuation of producing authentic scholarship that takes what has already been done and elaborate on it and develop it in a way.
My research is in the area of religion and science, and I'm particularly interested in artificial intelligence and the philosophical and theological implications from an Islamic perspective. The issue with artificial intelligence is that it's having a significant impact on our understanding of human nature. Cambridge Muslim College is unique in bringing together philosophers, theologians and scientists to understand these developments and respond to them from an Islamic perspective.
The premise of my work is that the classical schools of law encapsulate different thought systems. My research is actually charting almost a whole new field in Islamic legal studies. I was very fortunate to win the Brace de Gruyter Prize for my thesis because it was a genuine new contribution to Islamic legal studies in the Western Academy. The research directly speaks to the questions of the British Muslim community because it ultimately informs how classical law books were meant to be read, taught, understood, and what it means to give a thoughtful answer from the Islamic legal traditions to the many questions we face today. Research is not simply asking some archaic question about some factor, but it's engendering actually a culture of learning, a deep engagement with tradition and with today's world, which is what our community is so much in need of.
It's very important for institutions like Cambridge Muslim College to engage in research, especially in areas such as the modern science, which challenge traditional narratives about the place of human beings in the cosmos.
The research done at CMC will have an impact not only on Muslim communities and how they look at their own tradition, but also at mainstream academia and how they perceive the serious scholarship or the serious research that is done by institutions of faith background. There is a famous hadith that toward the end of time, the removal of knowledge will be through the removal of the learned communities or the ulama. And so the research and teaching that we're doing here at Cambridge Muslim College is vitally important for the preservation of this tradition, of our Islamic tradition.
Cambridge Muslim College, training the next generation of Muslim thinkers.